Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. Curfews and colleges were once synonymous with each other, but not anymore. Students today have broken free from such old and outdated concepts. Their argument is they are adults, so they should be permitted to come and go even at night. The Kerela High Court today reaffirmed that right. They also criticized colleges which have reserved curfews only for female students. Let me tell you what this case is actually all about. Last month, the Kozhikode Medical College issued a notice for its female students. Now, according to this notice, female students were barred from leaving the hostel after 9:30 p.m. In case you are wondering, no, this notice did not apply to male students. Why? Good old patriarchy. One student from the college decided to challenge this order. She dragged the university to court and demanded this curfew be lifted. That's when the High Court sought a response from the university. You won't believe the excuses the university made. The university claimed that absolute freedom is not good for society, that 18-year-olds do not have completely developed brains. Yes, they said it in court. They said that these undeveloped, immature people who are just 18 will indulge in drug abuse, in rash driving and unprotected sex as well. Now, coming from a university, it was frankly shameful. Then on December 6th, the government of Kerala issued a new notice to colleges. It declared that both male and female students can return to their hostels after 9:30 p.m. They cannot leave after 9:30 p.m., but they can return. All they have to do is sign the hostel register. If they want to leave after 9:30, they need the local guardian's permission. Now, yesterday, the court disposed the petition saying that all colleges must honor the government order. At the same time, they had some observations for colleges and the government as well. Let me read out what the court said. They said, to make the hostels accessible in such manner, the society also has to change, and the infrastructure required for making our campuses and streets safe will have to be much more. So the court says some curbs will be necessary until society improves. Having said that, the court warned against selective restrictions. Let me quote again. They said, girl students have constitutional rights, perhaps even more rights than boys. Discriminatory restrictions cannot be imposed on them like this. Hostels, said the Kerala High Court, are not prisons. So the court has now put the ball in the government's court. They want ideal conditions to be created so that the entire idea of curfews in medical colleges or otherwise can be abolished. Question is that aiming too high, or is it just keeping up with the times? That's the question I'm putting to our guests who are joining me this evening. Fiona Joseph is the petitioner in the case. Rahul Ishwar is an activist. We are going to have a quick chat with both of them. Fiona Joseph, are you a happy girl today? You are someone... All right, we'll try and go across to Fiona Joseph in just a bit. I wonder if Rahul Ishwar is with us. Rahul Ishwar, the Kerala High Court has been very clear. They are saying that hostels are not prisons. That, okay, if you want to have a 9:30 deadline, it will have to be flexible. Girls and boys can go out of hostels at 9:30 and come back to hostels at 9:30, provided they have informed someone. Only fair, I would say. These are 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds that we are talking about. These are young men and women who have written a very, very tough exam and have come to these medical colleges. They are adults. They can come and go wherever they wish and whenever they wish. What's the problem with that?
Two submissions, ma'am. One, society like human body has two hands. One hand is liberty. The second hand is responsibility. If one hand is freedom, second hand is duty. And there is a responsibility and duty that every person need to have. One, court has gone for a very balanced approach where they said, yes, there can be some kind of a regulation, but they should also have freedom. Like, for example, people like me, conservative activists, have been vouching for this. After 9:30 or 10, if they have to go out, their parents should give consent because they are basically studying in parents' money. Parents are sending them to learn in these hostels. I totally agree that hostels are not prisons, but hostels are not hotels either. If hostels are not prisons, hostels are not hotel either, or they are not inns or motels when you can barge in at any point of time. Kerala, after Punjab, is facing the second largest drug abuse culture in India. So we have to take guard and take care of our young children, impressionable minds who can fall to wrong paths. If you are going to keep it a free for all, open to all every time, drugs can flow in, lot of other unethical practices can flow in. So it is always important that we need to have a Lakshmana Rekha. You can draw Lakshmana Rekha wherever you want, but when somebody says there need not be any Lakshmana Rekha, that is anarchy. Lakshmana Rekha, always remember, is not for Sita but for Ravana. Lakshman drew a Rekha not for Sita but for Ravana, because there are a lot of anti-social elements, anti-health, anti-good things in society, and we have to guard our children, guard our youngsters against it. That's the reason why we want a balance. On one side, you need to have freedom for them, and on the other hand, you need to have some kind of regulation, some kind of moderation, some kind of safety and security measure for them. For example, unfortunately, if some girl unfortunately falls into some kind of a trap or falls off chart, or unfortunately if something happens to her after 10:30 or
Rahul
11:30,
Ishwar, these are medical, these, Rahul Ishwar, these, I will let the co-panelist Fiona Joseph argue her case here on this channel, but these are medical students we are talking about, and they are not saying we want to go do Mauj Masti. They are saying we need to be within campus only, to go to libraries and study. If boys can study in libraries, sit in libraries till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night, why are we being stopped? They are not arguing that they want to go to nightclubs, no, sir, the library doesn't close by 9. That is the whole point.
No, Shreyaji, 2 points. One, see, anybody should be ready to study, but please remember, they also need to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Their class start by something like 8 in the morning, and you should keep in mind they have to get
boys
ready by
also
at least
then
7.
Boys also then.
Yeah, for both. And please, and as a conservative activist, I would submit this mechanical homogenization of male and female is unnatural and not in reality true. We are a nation which has at least a female being subjected to molestation or rape once in every 20 minutes. We have to have safety. Mirror now even runs campaign for female safety. So what happens if one of those girls? So we have to take guard and care. See, we are not any society like US or UK or so-called the Western world.
No.
We are India, where there can be problems. We still don't have CC cameras or CCTV cameras on many spaces. So female security is also one thing. So we have to keep in mind that there are issues that we need to tackle, and not go for an anarchic line, not go for a blind freedom line, not go for a blind progressive line. I am proud to say that I am not progressive. I am neither a progressive nor a liberal, but a conservative activist. That's the reason why, for example, if my sister is studying and I call by 12:30 or 1 in the night, if she is not in the hostel, won't I be scared? Won't any parent or a brother will be scared? So we need to have such ethical, social concerns too in our society. But we respect, and Kerala High Court has really respected these students. Kerala High Court even went on record to say that we appreciate these students who have come. They have inspired and dictated a new thought. Devan Ramachandran, who is a legendary judge everyone respects beyond spectrum in Kerala, Devan Ramachandran ji went on record to appreciate these youngsters and always urge to come to the court if they are having any issues. The courts have been very respectful of them. Even the media has given them total support. All said and done. But you cannot have a situation where there are no chains, where there are no regulations. We cannot live in anarchy. So these students also should understand the concerns and the inhibitions of the senior generation, their elder brothers and sisters, their mother and father, their grandmother and grandmother.
Okay. So you've made your point, Fiona Joseph. You are one of the petitioners in this case. Rahul Ishwar is saying that the younger generation needs to understand the concerns of their parents, of their brothers and sisters, and there can be no complete liberty for girls given the situation that prevails in our society, that we are constantly worried about girls being unsafe, them going out at night is a big worry for parents, is a big worry, for their families. So why push for this equality is the question and the concern that Rahul is raising.
Okay, this is the same question I have been faced like many times. I would like to ask Mr. Rahul, when can a female go out in the night? Like everybody is telling the world is unsafe, that parents have concerns, that the crime rates are increasing. Like, does the world change in 1 or 2 years? Like, right, we are like 21, 22 right now. In 23, 24, we have to start going for working. We are house surgeons. We are walking in the same streets. We are forced to do that during job duties and other, we require to do that. So does the world become safer in within 1 or 2 years? As why is the world only unsafe for students? What we are trying to say is that we are adults and we are students very much capable of taking decisions and taking care of ourselves. So we should be given chances to walk out in the night. We should learn how to protect ourselves and how to adapt to this world. Yes, the world is unsafe and it is going to remain unsafe for a long period of time according to what everybody is telling, but that is not what our attitude should be. Why are there so many crimes in our country? The source of crime and why it's still persisting should be focused. Why are there crimes? Is our law system not effective? Is our police system not effective? Isn't that something that needs to be corrected? What everybody is telling, it will take time to do that. The change has to start somewhere. And it is not an ideal or utopian situation. Like there are many countries, many places where female students or females can walk out in the night freely and they are doing so. And why is it such an idealistic, impossible situation in our country alone? So the matters that need to change is not restricting freedom of movement, but definitely the other factors that are involved in increasing the crime rates in our country.
Okay. Fiona, Rahul, would you want to respond to that? I can give you 10 seconds to respond to that because that's a very compelling argument that Fiona makes. How long can women wait for this world to be safe?
Yeah, and I agree in spirit with Fiona, and Kerala High Court Justice Devan Ramachandran, slammed conservative thought process like mine and totally supported the girls and said, you have to, lock up the criminals. But let me be realistic. You cannot go around and look for criminals to lock up. So the reality is you may not be able to change the entire world, but we can definitely learn to swim and walk. So there is a middle ground. There is a line that we both have to come together to. For example, your brother or your father or your mother might be telling you the same thing. It is not out of patriarchy, but out of genuine care and concern. I would only urge a younger sister who is articulating really well, Fiona, to understand your senior generation's concerns, not as patriarchy, but as genuine care and respect for you, because there is a concern. If even when I was in college, I wouldn't listen to my seniors, but at the end of the day, it was their care and concern that were making them talk to us. So please respect their care and concern.
Yes, we definitely respect the care and concern
so
of
Fiona,
the parents.
Today's High Court order, Fiona,
yes,
today's High Court order, is that the middle ground? That 9:30 is the curfew hour, but you can go in and out of hostel post 9:30 as long as the warden the warden is informed. Are you happy with that? Do you think that's a middle ground?
It's actually a big achievement compared to the previous rule that was there, which completely restricted the thing. So we are, it's as long as we can go out and in by writing in the movement register, it was actually fine. It's actually okay. But there was there seems to be a little bit more clarity to be brought. Like certain news and information was telling that parents' permission needs to be there, but that's not how the judge had court had told that day. As long as we can write in the register and move out and in of the hostel without any time restrictions, we are actually pretty much okay with it. All we needed was our freedom. We should be able to, it's not like nobody can lock us on, like beyond 9:30 p.m. even if you come, we won't let you in. That nobody can say that to us. And after 9:30, no matter, you have to have a valid reason, very valid reasons, convincing to the warden. The validness depends on the type of mentality of the warden. So we can't entirely rely on that. Like we study in the night, maybe I am hungry at 10 or 11 and I want to go to the junction and eat something. That is valid according to me. And if the warden doesn't find it valid, she has no right to restrict me like that. That's all we actually really wanted. We should be allowed to go out and in of the hostel even after 9:30 p.m.
Fiona, can I ask you whether you had any response or what your reaction was to what the Kerala University of Health Sciences said in court? They are saying freedom at 18 years may not be appropriate and good for society, and that women attain full maturity only at the age of 25. They are saying age of maturity does not bring mental maturity or brain maturity, and that there is scientific evidence to support the hypothesis that adolescent brain is structurally and functionally vulnerable to environmental stresses, risky behavior, drug addiction, impaired driving, and unprotected sex. Any comments on what the university has said in their defense of curfews?
Actually, I'm a bit disappointed that this university is overlooking the medical education in Kerala. I mean, you might think what the standard of medical education is happening, but we are following standard textbooks and the education is being provided properly. I should tell you that first. Please do not judge the medical education based on these comments. Anyways, what I would like to say is that basically many people would have asked, first thought that comes to our mind is, if the mental maturity is achieved only by the age of 25, why are we allowed to vote and choose the government that rule us by the age of 18? We are, before it was 18, now it's 21. We are allowed to choose a life partner, start a family, and be responsible for our kids and their decisions by the age of 21. Are we not mentally mature enough to take decision of what to choose and what stresses are good for us and bad for us, and step out in the night until we are 25 alone? We become house surgeons by the age of 23, 24. We are prescribing medicines to patients. Okay, so I don't understand what the logic of that was regarding age 20. And about the stresses, vulnerable, yes, actually adolescent age group is vulnerable to stresses. So what is the solution to that? Is restricting their movement beyond 9:30 p.m. Are these stresses not present before 9:30 p.m.? Ideally, what should be done, like drug addiction, risky behavior, there should be classes, awareness classes, counseling classes. Unprotected sex, how many people know? Students, medical students will get information in their thing. Other stream students, how many of them know the risks of unprotected sex? How many people know the facilities that are available to them, the type of contraceptives that are available? MTP, abortion, Legal Abortion Act. Even now there are so many illegal abortions happening. The life of the females are going, they're leading to death because of they don't know if it's legal, if there's anything available. They think yeah, things like that. So the answer to this is definitely not restricting the time period, but there are many other methods in which such stresses can be curbed.
Okay, so Rahul, in the end, after listening to Fiona, will you agree that the Kerala Medical College has completely messed it up in its argument in court? That they have come out with one patriarchal statement after the other. And then you say that, you guys are woke, be progressive, but be conservative as well, because girls need to be protected. But look, it tells you something about the mindset.
Shreya, two submissions.
We are in 2022, entering 2023. Some things have to change. Some things have to change.
But it has to be for the better. If the change is for the worse, we should be more guarded about this. And I agree with Fiona in two things. One, yes, large awareness needs to be done. For example, something like relationship education, men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of thing. Relationship education should be there. Better sex education should be there. Consent education, which is very important from the part of boys and girls, should be there. All these things should be there. But the only request is we need to have a middle ground. See, I'm not the ultra-conservative or ultra-orthodox person who should say, I'm the Talibani mindset. Nobody has. But at the same point of time, there is a huge conservative section of our society who want to respectfully engage with our youngsters, try to strike a chord with them, try to have a middle ground, and to see where there can be a consensus between liberty and responsibility. The only request from all the parents' angle or all the seniors' angle would be, we respect your freedom. You are going to create more things than us. You are a more intelligent generation, more sources of knowledge are there for you. But there are concerns from the parents' part regarding marriage, relationship, sexuality, drugs, unlimited fun. So many things are there. So that inhibitions are there. So let the seniors respect the energy of the youngsters, and let the youngsters respect the inhibitions and experience of the senior generation too. That would be the request to them.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Fiona, thank you very much for joining us, and always good to have you, Rahul, as well. The fact is that something like this should not have gone to court. The court shouldn't have decided on it. The students in the medical college should have sat together and decided and come to a middle path where the girls remain safe and yet they have the freedom to do what they want to do. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I'm slipping into a quick break on the show.